Hello and welcome to today's KSP video. And this is episode 13, and today's goal is to launch Lunar 1 finally and make it land on the moon. As well as we're entering the atmosphere again with our KZ3 crew, which is supposed to be back like a week ago, but since we had our periapses too high, we could not really recover them on the first try, and therefore they have to aerobrake. So checking up on them, we realized one heavy big mistake, and it wasn't on our side, it was a coincidence. And the next time we would orbit around the Earth, we would actually enter the gravitational influence of the moon, therefore pushing us towards a more further orbit of Earth and making it basically impossible to go back home because we won't touch the atmosphere anymore. So if the orbit would stay the same, which it won't because we'll slow down, it would have ruined our chances of returning the KZ3 crew. But of course this is not confirmed yet, so we have to hope that the next re-entry will slow down KZ3 enough in order for us to stay inside our Earth orbit and not go in a higher orbit, which will make us have an impossible chance of returning. So as you just saw, I just built the Lunar 1 mission and constructed it, as well as the new Prometheus 2 mission, and launched it right afterwards, as you can see on your screen right here. The Lunar 1 mission will be launched later on in this episode, but for now that should be enough. And with that being done, we recovered the vessel and accepted some more contracts, which we will do right afterwards, before we are actually launching our Lunar 1 mission. So once that was done, we were ready to launch Lunar 1 on the 28th of July 1951. Fortunately, everything went flawlessly this time. There were no engine failures whatsoever or performance issues, so everything went as was planned, yeah. So now that we had our encounter with the moon, we just had to wait a few days now until we were actually there. So I will be actually returning to Lunar 1 later in this episode, but for now we'll just make a maneuver node timer to know when we are supposed to be back. So supposedly the Kermano Mini rocket, or I should say plane, was supposed to launch now, but instead we're launching a Prometheus 2 rocket. This is because the Kermano Mini was scrubbed due to the lack of safety measures and therefore will be reworked for on later episodes. It would have just been too much of a risk to launch it now. After we had splashed down, we just had one more risky thing to not really do, but watch, which is to watch KSP re-enter the atmosphere. And this was a very risky move, as you can see on your screen right now. As you can see, we're gaining altitude as we enter the atmosphere, which is good because we should gain altitude, but we're still at 29 million meters, which sounds like a lot, but the gravitational influence goes up to 50 plus. So yeah, we'll have to slow down way more, and as you can see, we are gradually doing exactly that. So it's looking good so far, but there's no short promises. And as it gets smaller, we got the confirmation that we won't enter the moon's gravitational influence, which is good. Because, yeah, now we can actually bring the humans back and don't have to launch another rescue mission. So, while watching Lunar 1 complete its orbit now around the moon in order to land soon, we are gonna talk about an upcoming very significant mission in the next upcoming episode. So, next episode we will launch another significant mission, thus being the Venus 1 mission. It will have a long journey towards Venus, and it's intended to fly by and touch the atmosphere by the slightest bit to gain a whole lot of data. And everything is needed, so even if we just touch it a slight bit, it would still be very helpful. And since it's the perfect transfer window, it was a perfect goal. So it was declared that it wasn't necessary to return the capsule that we'll be launching, but it would be a huge bonus for us, obviously, because we're recovering a spacecraft that has touched the atmosphere of another planet, which is not Earth. But for now, that should be it. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope I see you guys next episode. Bye bye.